Matt, just the way your three seniors played down the stretch, that's kind of the perfect senior day story, it seems.
Yeah, all three of them made, significant plays. I thought Travion was able to get some rebounds. He made his first 2 free throws, got a couple baskets. Sasha made the big 3. But Eric Hunter really made some nice plays. I know he missed that last one, but it was a really good decision and a really good drive. And that's kind of what was there for us, is some of those open drives that didn't involve Jaden Ivey. They did a great job, Indiana, of really loading up on him and making it difficult. You have to give them credit for them. But no, Travion, Eric, and Sasha all, really contributed to this victory.
Yeah, Coach, second chance points, 15-2. I know you're a bigger team, but just want to on that, and the fact that it seemed to spur you particularly early, a lot of baskets in the first half off second chances.
Right. I thought, Mason had a couple of those plays early that he kept alive. Zach has 4 offensive rebounds. Travion has a couple. But Eric and Jaden also have a couple. Being able to get on the glass and just keep getting those possessions and not turning the ball over. Both teams did a good job of not, having a high number of turnovers. But, just trying to scrap. We had the game, when we were up 13 there in that first half, where we had some possessions to push the game out a little bit and give Indiana credit because we weren't able to do that. But we had some shots there that we, like to get back that were pretty open. Some of them are kind of the reloads, the offensive rebound kickouts when it's tough to match up.
Travion's defense on the inbounds play there, just his ability to kind of process everything in front of him and get that deflection. Just what does it say about the defender that he is?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. I didn't mention that, but that was a huge play. He's gotten that position before, and you get stuck a little bit when you have somebody that can jump off a trampoline like Trace Jackson Davis, and then you have a guard who's really getting into the paint and really putting you in a bind. So you're playing him in between because you really want him to shoot that tough floater. You want to keep him away from the threes and the dunks. But Trace Jackson Davis is so good at diving right there. They really put you in the mix. But Travion did a great job on that play of just having active hands and then getting that steal for us.
Matt, 25 wins for the 9th time under your watch. 5th time in 6 years. You have the best record at home. You're making some things second nature here that are impossible for other folks. Your thoughts on those accomplishments?
Well, I think we have a great advantage, just like Indiana has an advantage when you play at home. Getting a team and trying to build and keep developing and having older players along with that environment helps a lot. So, we have some older guys on our team. We have some experience. We have some really talented younger guys too. And I think that's the mix in college basketball. It's going to be harder for people to get older and stay older, but that's the key. If you can get old and stay old, and you got guys, I got 2 guys that have been with me for 4 years, another guy that's been with me for 5. And so, they understand, they get it. And that's the key. And not everybody's having that. You see a lot of people running out in college basketball and just, it's like trading baseball cards. They're, guys are playing on 2, 3, 4 teams in their college career. And it's not that they're not good players or they have the right to do it, but how are you supposed to build and develop? How are the Spurs supposed to be great with that run without having those guys stay with that organization? But we have a great environment and we have an unbelievable advantage. I think playing here, our fans really give us an advantage. And so I'm a big believer in you become what the head coach thinks of you. And when I watched him, I thought he was a good player. And so I've coached low major basketball, mid major basketball, high major basketball. And if you're good, you're good. I don't like to label guys. I hate the numbers. The numbers stink. Anybody in this room can tell us who the top 20 players in the country are. But from 21 to 500, Zach Edey's like in the 300s. How foolish are they? Chris Kramer is like 430. Only thing those 2 guys have done is win basketball games here. I don't know what Sasha was ranked, and I could care less. It's the dumbest thing in the world. If you sign with the school and you're it's a blue blood and you were 27, you're automatically 16. How's that work? You sign with a non-blue blood and you're 45, then all of a sudden you're 74, and it's ridiculous. You'd be amazed that you see people in the 30s, and there's some guys not even ranked, and you don't. It's like Indiana. Indiana's like Rob Finney. I loved Rob Finney. I thought he was great. I thought he was a winner. He had a lot of winning qualities about him. When you rank guys, you can't judge what's in their heart. When you go and recruit them and spend time with them and see them, you see that. That's the evaluation is your work ethic. Do you have any baggage? Just because things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. So to get a guy like that who just wants to help Purdue win and can make shots and can move and can pass, that's fun. He's got heavy feet, but that's okay. There's a lot of good people with heavy feet. So.
Hey, Matt, Let's talk about the legacy of Purdue. Coach Katie in the house today, senior day. I mean, a lot of schools go through a lot of coaches, and you guys have, together it's kind of very unusual. What do you think about your legacy here, or just the legacy of basketball coaches at Purdue, where you fit in?
Well, I'm fortunate because I have a blueprint to go by. He laid the blueprint, whether, academics, how to handle things socially, how to handle things within your program. I worked for, 3 of the 4 people that coached me. And so, like, traveling with those guys and hearing stories, and you think you know so much when you're 21 years old. And then as you get to be 31 and you get 8, 9, 10 years under your belt coaching, you realize you knew very little. And you still realize you know very little. Like, everything will humble you. The game will humble you. And so, but no, we had a great blueprint from Coach Katie and how to run a program. Like, anybody can have a good team, but can you consistently have a good team? Can you consistently try to do things the right way? Because not everybody's perfect. You're not going to have things happen perfectly, especially socially. You take 15 to 17, 19 to 22-year-olds in any fashion, anything that they do, like, something's bound to happen here. Like, it's just the way it rolls. So you got to do a lot of things to try to do from a prevention standpoint to help those guys, so they don't put themselves in there. And it all comes back to Coach Katie, and Coach Katie was actually great. Like, you'd mess up or you would do something, and he would obviously have some discipline, but he would always stand by you. And that's something that we try to do with our guys, but also hold them accountable. I think telling them the truth, they might not like. I don't think every one of our guys likes me, and that's all right. But that's not what you're there for. They've got a bunch of people out there that like them. They don't need one more. They need someone to hold them accountable and tell them the truth. So.